Hi everyone, welcome to week 1 of the 3-week period of Motivational Mondays with Michaela. I hope that you're all having a good time at home and that you're able to get a little bit of rest while you're staying safe, whether that means hanging out with your family, going on FaceTime dates with your friends, walking around outside alone or with your dog, all of those fun things. As long as you're staying around people, sounds good to me. So today in Motivational Monday number 1, we're going to talk a little bit about goals. If you're one of my RAs, I know that you just rolled your eyes at me, and that's totally okay. If any of you guys know about my RAs or our staff meetings, we talk about goals all the time, at least once a week. They get tired of it. I love it. It's totally fine. But I'm going to bring a little bit of that here to you guys all right now. So with goals, you may think that this is a weird time to focus on them. Since you're at home, you don't have a set schedule, there's a lot of stuff going on in general, it's a pretty scary time right now, and that's okay if you don't have goals that you have set right now. That's totally fine if you haven't even thought about it. But I want to help you guys feel as accustomed to living at home and as comfortable and as motivated as possible while you're there in this weird time. So to start with that, let's talk about goals. With goals, if you don't have one right now, totally fine. We're going to get into how to make one. But my main point of today, Motivation Monday number 1, is to set a goal. And for different people, that can be a lot of different things. So someone, their goal may literally be to get out of bed each day or to change out of their pajamas into, even if that just means changing into sweatpants, that's totally fine. For other people, their goal could be to run a half marathon or to talk to their friends every day or to drink a ton of water. There are a ton of different options for what people's goals can be. But no matter what, my point today to help you guys out is that I want you to choose one goal. And so that means it can be the smallest thing ever, or it can be a really large goal that you're trying hard for, but I want you to go ahead and choose one goal to focus on in this time. Again, you may think it's a little crazy. You're thinking, Michaela, why do you want me to choose a goal right now? I'm having a terrible time at home. I'm tired of my parents already. Even my dog isn't giving me the comfort it used to. And that's okay. The reason I want you to choose one goal is because I want you to get something out of hanging out at home. And so if you're at home, if you're with family, wherever you're at, I want you to be able to come out of it knowing that you did something productive and coming out of it happy in some way. And so if this goal can bring you happiness in just a little bit of a way, that's great. And that's my goal here right now. So with your goal, a couple things to think of. I'm not going to go over all of the things going along with SMART goals, but I do have a couple things that you need to include in that one goal. So first of all, has to be realistic. Can't be crazy. You can't be saying, Michaela, my goal is to make $1 million, and that didn't happen. It needs to be a realistic goal, and it needs to be realistic for you. So a realistic goal for me is a lot different than what a realistic goal for you is. And so whenever you're brainstorming what you want to do, think of all the goals you have, think of where you want to be in 10 years, think of where you want to be in 1 year, think of where you want to be by the time school starts next year. Just think of all of those things and what they relate to, and then try thinking of one goal that you want to get done right now. So one of my goals for 2020, for example, is to read 52 books. So I wanted to read one book a week. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone likes reading. Not everyone is a fast reader. People just may not want to read in general. They'd rather do other things, and that's okay, but that's my one goal. And so in order to get there, I had to set weekly goals to get there. I had to make sure that it was possible. So then if I went a couple weeks, I hadn't read any books, I'm not going to be able to read 52 books in a year. That's just not really realistic anymore. And so with that, with your one goal that's realistic, it needs to be realistic for you. So that means if you eventually want to be able to run a marathon, but right now you haven't exercised at all, that's totally okay, but maybe your goal isn't to run a marathon in the next 2 months. Maybe your goal is to be able to run a mile or to run a 5K, or it's a little bit smaller. Or if your goal is to drink 100 ounces of water a day, and right now you don't drink any water at all, maybe you should start a little smaller and have your goal be to drink literally like 50 ounces a day. Just to drink that 50 ounces, that's your goal. You're going to start small. And so what you need to do with your specific goal, again, specific to you. So if your goal is to eventually run a marathon, but right now you're hanging out in bed all day, that's okay. Your goal can be to get out of bed each day, just one time, just to get out of bed. Or your goal can be to change your clothes from pajamas into yoga pants. Go for it. As long as you're doing your goal, that's it. And so what do I want you guys to do with this goal? This is your only thing I want you to do this week, is to figure out your one goal, make sure it's specific and realistic for you, and I want you to send it to me in an email. Next week, I'm gonna have Motivation Monday number 2, and we're gonna talk about what to do with those goals and how to move forward. And so I want you to send me your goals so that I can choose a couple and talk about those ones specifically for you guys. And so that we can go over it and you guys can see exactly how to handle your specific goal. That's my goal, at least. So I hope you guys are doing so well at home. I know that it's a crazy time and it's really hard to adjust right now, and that's totally okay. Again, I want your goal, or whatever you choose to do, to be feasible, to be possible for you. And that's okay if it literally is getting out of bed each day. That's okay if it's scrolling on your phone on Insta for 5 hours instead of 6 hours. That's okay. Doesn't matter how small it is. Doesn't matter how big it is. Choose one goal. Send it to me in an email. I'll respond to you. So if all of you guys send me goals, it's about 350 responses, but I'm up for the task. And then I will see you guys back here on Motivation Monday with Michaela, week 2. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week.